Now that you've added all of your content to your course, you're looking to foster discussion. You want your students to start collaborating. By default, you're given a discussion board thread. To access this, you'll select Discussions. Here is where you'll create a forum. A forum holds all of the threads that your students make. So for example, you make the master post and your students write within it. To begin, you'll select Create Forum. Just like everything else on Blackboard, this forum needs a name. For example, I'm going to put Week 1 Discussion Post. In the description, I'm going to populate my question, what I want to ask my students. Maybe I would like to make this an introductory post. Under forum availability, I would always recommend you leave it as yes, and then set your date and time restrictions based on when you want this content to be visible. I'm going to select next Thursday at midnight. Then we get to our forum settings. First, viewing threads and replies. The standard view means that any student who goes on to make a post can see all posts prior to theirs. So for example, if 4 students have posted, I can read all of their posts before I make mine. You have the ability to turn this off by selecting Participants must create a thread in order to view the threads in this forum. This prevents students from reading another student's work and rewording what they've said. There's options to grade the forum. If you'd like to, you can just select Grade Discussion Forum and enter in the number of points possible. Under the due date, you'll select the date in which the students can no longer submit. So we'll select the 12th at midnight. And this will also populate to their Blackboard calendar to let them know that that is when the assignment is due. If you'd like to add a rubric, you have the ability to, and this can be used for grading purposes. One thing to note is that under Create and Edit, you are now no longer able to allow anonymous posting, delete your own posts, delete author posts. This is because the forum is being used for grading. If we turn that grading feature off, as well as turn it back onto standard view, you'll see that the anonymous posting option is available. Anonymous posting is very useful when it comes to controversial topics in the classroom. Some students don't always like to speak out, so if you turn on the anonymous posting, nobody knows who's saying what, and you have the ability to really get that conversation going. Once you've gone through all of these settings, and you've chosen the ones that fit your need, you'll select Submit. Here we see that the discussion board has been created. Your students will select the discussion forum, and then they will select Create Thread to begin making their introductory post. If your students would like, they can browse their computer and attach a file to the discussion board. This is common if the discussion boards are asking for very lengthy responses. Some students do enjoy writing it in Word where they have the spell check, and they can save a copy to their computer as well as submitting it. Your students will then just select Submit, and you'll be able to see the author, the title of their thread, whether or not it was published, if the post is unread, and how many posts are within this thread. In order to respond to a student's post, you'll first select their thread, and then select the reply button. Here you'll be able to write anything you'd like to the student. Please to the discussion board is available to every user in the course. There's no way to hide a reply to a discussion board post. You would need to send that as an email or another private message. You know how to use the discussion boards, reply to students, and foster that discussion. Head on over to our quiz to gather your knowledge points and complete the mission.